Zone is a 3D fighting game that was released on PlayStation 1 in the year 2000. Our story begins with two goddesses, Leo and Kakarine, who have their own personal pocket dimension from which to love one another for the rest of time, until one day Leo gets bored of that and dumps Kakarine's ass. She gets to the mortal realm where all the humans are and decides to possess court wizard Ihotuka Illamella on the world of Seru. Unfortunately, her ego is too large for one host to possibly handle, and her soul and consciousness shatters, proliferating throughout the multiverse, possessing people and generally causing chaos. Kakarine handles losing her goddess wife, who as well as could be expected, and decides the way to win her part back is to kill every last mortal incarnation of Leo and drag her soul fragments back to oblivion with her, where they'll stay together for all eternity. Meanwhile, back in Seru, the other court magicians notice that Ihotuka is now an evil witch, and as a result they throw her into the evil zone for her crimes, but realise the evil zone is only a temporary measure and she'll eventually break out and murder all of them. So they end up doing this big summoning ritual to bring forth villains and heroes from across the multiverse to solve their problem for them. However, instead of doing the sensible thing and asking them to team up on Ihotuka and totally wipe her out with the numbers advantage, they instead do a tournament arc, so only one person fights Ihotuka, because this is a fighting game anime type thing, and tournament arcs are just what you do, you know? Which one of the story branches into 10 paths. Each character's story is a show within a show, parodying or homaging a different anime genre. It's got that very 90s anime dub feel, like next time a Dragon Ball Z thing, where it's all like, Danzivar has won this battle, but next week he'll be fighting the Dark Sorcerer Kea. Will his tactical frame hold up? Find out next time on Ultimate Hero Danzivar. Yeah, in his story route, it's very much Power Ranger, Super Sentai, justice will always triumph over evil, no matter what. You know, he's big ham, he likes doing these big, impressive anime speeches, but he's a bit of an idiot. It's completely oblivious of the two people who, make his job fighting crime in space completely possible, are both sisters who are in love with him. Contrast that with the Magical Girl series, Guardian Angel Satsuna, which is about an ordinary college girl, Satsuna, who's whisked off and go to a secret world of sword and sorcery, and develops a close bond with Karen. Karen is a disembodied spirit who's a fragment of Leah, who's not a raging bitch, and doesn't have most of her personality traits. The two bond and do the whole Yu-Gi-Oh thing, where, much like the Pharaoh and Yugi sharing a body to coordinate and how to play a children's card game there, they do that here, except it's with sword fights. Now, Ihotuka wants to claim Karen for herself, because if she reabsorbs that soul fragment, she'll gain some of her original divine power back, at which point she can escape the evil zone and fight Kakarine on her own terms. However, Satsuna and Karen, over the course of this adventure, it does the usual Magical Girl stuff of learning your inner feelings, self-discovery, vowing to protect one another, and yes, they are in lesbians with one another, and it's that vow of loving one another which ends up protecting them against the big bad soul-destroying magic, because in the end the power of love truly does conquer all. There's just so much deep lore to the series. In fact, they had to build an in-game encyclopedia with 242 articles that contain, character information, the names of their moves, how their techniques work, the equipment, stuff about magic, stuff about advanced technology, distant galaxies, other worlds, what they do in their off time when they're not being summoned to, trans-dimensional fighting game tournaments. There's all this world building that somebody put so much effort into, as if they were planning having lots of spin-off series and sequels and anime adaptations, and maybe that's what they were going for. Maybe they'll go do a Fate Stay Night thing with, Fate has all these different spinning-off franchises that all start off with that one visual novel in that one Kids Next Door episode, Operation Report, where each character shifts the art style and the genre, got this whole unreliable narrator thing, which again could be really interesting in an anime adaptation, or Evil Zone could do the Bacano route, where it's got a non-chronological timeline and we bounce between different characters as they go through events both on Seru in the Evil Zone tournament and beforehand and afterwards, slowly piece together the grand story from that. However, if you direct your attention to the centre of the screen, you'll see that the game did not review well, and that was in the West. In the West, it actually got better reviews than it's native to Japan, and as a result, even though certain scenes in the game outright break the fourth wall and hint at the possibility of a sequel, it never happened. Anime never happened. The OVAs never happened. The franchise never happened. And now, 20 years later, it never will.